Imagine this. You're standing over a washing machine, the drum spinning hypnotically, the scent of fresh detergent floating through the air. Clean, crisp, comforting. You press a few buttons, dos y napod, and walk away. Within minutes, your clothes will come out spotless. It feels routine, mechanical, even boring. But what if I told you that this everyday act, washing clothes, hides one of the oldest, strangest, and most transformative stories in human history? A story that begins not with machines or bottles, but wheat fire, ashes, and the desperate human desire to stay clean. Thousands of years ago, long before detergents, before bubbles and fragrances and fabric softeners, humans were already battling one of their oldest enemies, dirt. And in the ancient world, cleanliness wasn't just about hygiene. It was about purity, status, and sometimes even survival. Archaeologists have discovered that as early as 2800 BC, the Babylonians were already experimenting with a crude kind of soap mixing animal fats with wood ash. The result, a thick, grayish substance that foamed slightly when rubbed with water. Not pleasant, not perfumed, but it worked. The secret was in the chemistry, though they didn't know it at the time. When fat is mixed with ash and water, a chemical reaction occurs called it produces something new. Soap, a substance that can bind to both oil and water, pulling away dirt and grease. This reaction, discovered by accident, was humanity's first step toward modern cleaning science. Imagine that, thousands of years before chemistry was even a science. Someone tending a fire may have spilled cooking fat into ashes, noticed the slick, bubbly result, and realized that somehow it made things cleaner. The Egyptians took the idea and refined it. They blended plant oils with alkaline salts from the desert, creating a smoother, more effective soap-like paste. Ancient scrolls describe how it was used not just for washing bodies, but for cleaning linen. The earliest version of laundry detergent. In fact, the very word soap comes from a Roman legend about Mount Sapo, a mythical place where animals were sacrificed. The rain, it was said, washed animal, fat and ashes down into the river, where local women noticed that their clothes got cleaner when they washed them there. Whether or not Mount Sapo ever existed doesn't matter. What matters is how humanity's obsession with clean fabric turned into an enduring craft of chemistry and invention. For centuries, washing clothes was back-breaking labor. People soaked garments in streams, beat them against rocks, or scrubbed them with brushes made of reeds. In medieval Europe, soap was expensive, a luxury item often reserved for the wealthy. The poor used ashes and lye, soaking clothes for hours in strong, caustic mixtures that left hands raw and fabric stiff. The smell was far from fresh, but as trade routes expanded, new materials began to circulate: oils from the Mediterranean, potash from woodlands, and exotic perfumes. Soap making became a respected trade, and laundry, once a chore of survival, became an art of refinement. The real turning point, however, came with the Industrial Revolution. Factories didn't just produce machinery, they produced dirt, sweat, soot, and grime on a scale humanity had never known. Laundry became a full-time occupation, especially for women, and in the crowded, smog-filled cities of 19th century Europe, the demand for better, cheaper soap exploded. Entrepreneurs saw opportunity in suds. In the 1800s, a French chemist named Nicolas Leblanc discovered how to produce soda ash, a key soap ingredient, from ordinary salt. His breakthrough made soap affordable for the masses. For the first time, cleanliness became democratic. The slogan "Cleanliness is next to godliness" spread across Victorian homes, not as a moral saying, but as a marketing message. Soap companies began printing advertisements showing radiant women scrubbing clothes with ease, their families smiling, their homes shining. It was no longer just about washing. It was about identity. But soap had a problem. True soap, made from natural fats, reacted badly with hard water. Minerals in the water created a filmy residue, that dull, stiff feeling that made fabrics scratchy and gray. By the early 20th century, chemists began searching for something new, a cleaner that could break through grease without leaving residue behind. And in 1916, during World War I, a group of German scientists did something revolutionary. They invented synthetic detergent. You see, war had cut off the supply of natural fats, forcing chemists to innovate. They experimented with compounds derived from petroleum instead, and the result was a powerful cleaning agent that worked even in cold, hard water. These were the world's first detergents, the ancestors of every brand on supermarket shelves today. They didn't rely on animal fat, and they could be mass-produced. Chemistry had officially replaced biology in the world of washing. After the war, detergent technology boomed. In the 1930s and 40s, companies like Procter & Gamble and Henkel raced to develop new formulas. In 1933, Dreft became the first synthetic laundry detergent marketed for home use. It was intensely effective, and unlike soap, it didn't leave residue. But it wasn't until after World War II that detergent became a household staple. Factories returned to peacetime production, women re-entered the workforce, and home appliances began transforming domestic life. And with the invention of the washing machine, detergent found its perfect partner. The chemistry kept evolving. In the 1950s, detergents were boosted with phosphates, which softened water and made washing even more efficient. For a while, it seemed like science had conquered dirt once and for all. But there was a catch, an environmental one. Those same phosphates that made our clothes whiter also caused massive algae blooms when they entered rivers and lakes. By the 1970s, entire ecosystems were choking under the weight of our cleanliness. That's when a new revolution began. The era of chemists started reformulating detergents with biodegradable compounds, removing phosphates, and finding ways to clean without poisoning the planet. Enzymes, natural proteins that break down stains, became the next big innovation. Imagine tiny biological machines munching away at grease, blood, and sweat at the molecular level. Suddenly, laundry wasn't just chemical, it was biochemical. And then, as technology advanced, convenience took over. Liquid detergents replaced powders. Concentrates replaced bulky bottles. Pods and capsules emerged, measured to perfection, melting away with zero mess. Automation spread from machines to formulation. Everything calculated, efficient, optimized. But in the process, something fascinating happened. The very act of washing, once a communal, physical, time-consuming ritual, became invisible. You don't see the process anymore. You just press start. But if you listen closely, the hum of your washing machine still carries echoes of ancient hands scrubbing linen by the river, of fire pits where ashes mixed with fat, of chemists in wartime labs racing against shortage, and of marketers selling the dream of modern purity. Every bubble tells part of that story, of how something so ordinary became a symbol of progress, hygiene, and human ingenuity. And yet, in the middle of all this innovation, one thing has never changed: our emotional connection to cleanliness. Scientists have found that the smell of fresh laundry, that clean scent we associate with comfort and care, triggers feelings of safety and nostalgia in the brain. It's a manufactured fragrance, yes, but one that taps into something ancient, the deep, psychological link between scent, memory, and belonging. That's why detergent ads always show families hugging, not just folded towels. Clean clothes don't just look better, they make us feel better. Today, as we move into an era of smart washing machines, waterless cleaning systems, and AI-controlled laundry cycles, the story continues. Detergents now contain nanotechnology, fragrance microcapsules that burst slowly over days, and surfactants engineered at the molecular level. But in essence, it is still the same story. The story of humans trying to wash away the world's mess and start fresh. From ashes to automation, from hand washing to algorithms, laundry detergent has mirrored our evolution, from survival to sophistication. So next time you pour that blue liquid or drop in a neat little pod, take a moment to think about what's really happening. Not just the chemistry, but the continuity. Each bubble connects you to millennia of human trial and error, to the people who first discovered that ash and fat could purify, to the chemists who built molecules that could strip away stains invisible to the eye, to the environmentalists who reminded us that cleanliness shouldn't come at the cost of nature. Because in the end, The story of Detergent isn't just about cleaning clothes. It's about cleaning ourselves, our societies, our technologies, our mistakes. It's a story of dirt and discovery, soap and science, and our endless pursuit of renewal. The next time your washing machine whirs and you catch that familiar scent in the air, remember, it's not just laundry, it's history, still spinning.